Jeffrey says that there's nothing wrong with fapping.
It's good for you. It increases your testosterone and it even decreases your chances of getting prostate cancer.
Jeffrey spends his days in his bedroom. He does nothing masculine and now he's sapping away his sexual energy. Instead of putting in the effort to level up some skills that would be so good for him, he levels up on RuneScape. This is the life of most men. Make sure you're not like Jeffrey. Adonis is a farmer, a hunter. He's an old school man. When he first heard of the term beating your meat, he thought it was about hunting. And yet when Adonis looks around and sees the men of modern times, he's sadly disappointed. He sees them all cowering in their bedrooms, doors locked, lights down low, pleasuring themselves when they haven't earned it. Why is this generation so weak? And what can I do to help them? I first discovered Nofap when I was like 17 years old. I ended up clicking on a video on YouTube that spoke about it. And I'm like nodding my head thinking, whoa, okay, this is a way for me to level up. They're absolutely right. Yeah, I know for a fact, yeah, like this is true. Porn, yeah, it is going to be bad for you. And like if I don't ejaculate, then I would be like stronger. And then on day 90, I can levitate. And so I'm so motivated, okay, this is like the new way to live. And I'm already feeling horny, but you know, okay, this is it, I'm on Nofap now. Day 2, I wake up, and the first thing I do, because it's in my habit, is I open my eyes, grab my phone, and I start scrolling. Back then, I used to scroll on this social media platform that's made for ugly people. It's called Reddit. It's made for like left-wing, pussy, feminists, whatever. And because these people are weak, there's a lot of porn on there. So I scroll a little bit, pretending to be interested in like the world news and whatever. And of course, I end up scrolling past some porn. And then I start resisting it for a few seconds. Okay, now I'm just like edging. And then I just go past the point of no return. I'm on day 0 again. I just felt like I've just started the day with a loss. So my self-esteem for the entire day is just negative. I lived like this for years. For years, this addiction builds up. Some months are worse than others. And then finally, when I'm around 21 years old, it's at its all-time worst. I swear to God, I'm staying up 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., watching porn for hours just because I'm bored. You know, it was the start of the COVID lockdown and I would start my day kind of productive. You know, I'd wake up and maybe I'd like try and work on one of these like online businesses that everyone used to talk about. I'd try dropshipping and YouTube and everything. And then I'd spend some time, I don't know, like running outside sometimes, and then I'd eat and I'd just kind of relax and whatever. But when the sun would go down and I would stay up and it gets to 8, 9, 10 p.m., that's when I would go on my computer and I would start just playing like video games for hours. I would order a bunch of food. I would eat through all the snacks that I had. At first, it was a bit, you know, wholesome and fun, but then it gets to midnight, 1 a.m. You're just looking at like your Steam library. There's no game that I feel like playing. And that's when I go on these websites. And I'm not going on there just because I'm like horny and I just need to like release or anything. I'm going on there just because I'm fucking bored and I want some dopamine. I'm more like watching the porn than I am actually there to masturbate. So for literally 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I'm literally just watching different porn clips. I'm trying to remember that one video from like 3 years ago and I'm just edging for like an hour fucking straight. I accidentally go over the point of no return. Now I've got to wait like fucking 45 minutes to go again and again and again, sometimes 3 times in a night. And this one night, I'm on Facebook at the same time. It's like 2 a.m. and I see a notification for the apartments that I'm in. So basically the apartments that I was living in, like the building I was living in, it had like a Facebook group in cases, you know, you needed anything, whatever. And someone has just wrote a post in there, like, you know, I saw the little red icon, so I click on that. And it's from a girl who said, "Hey, is anyone up? I ordered a pizza. They delivered the wrong one and they said that I could just keep it, but I can't eat it. I don't want this one. It's got like cheese and I'm vegan or some shit." And straight away, I'm thinking, oh my, like my heart starts going fast. I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna fuck this girl. Because she posted it like 15 minutes ago. It's 2 a.m., no one's replied. I go over her picture and she looks like, you know, like the type of girl that you could fuck at 2 a.m., like on a random day. So I'm like, holy shit, this is it. My heart actually starts going fast. And I message her straight away. I'm high as well, so I feel like a bit of a retard, but I message her, "Pizza Angel." And she replies and she's like, "Ha ha ha, do you want it? It's still here." And I say, "Yeah, I'll take it." And she says, "Okay, my apartment number is 207. My heart. like this. My heart is like this. I'm literally, oh shit, like I'm about to, oh fuck, oh like, but I've nutted like 2-3 times tonight, and I'm high as fuck. I'm a bit of a retard. I'm kind of dizzy. I'm kind of sleepy actually. Should I do it or not? Like I'm literally like, this is what I've wanted this entire time, and now I'm like panicking about it, and I'm looking at the phone. She sends another message, are you gonna come? And I'm like, oh shit, like, oh, I don't know, like maybe she should bring you, oh the fuck, oh, like, wait, okay, could I get hard again? Let me see. I start like jacking off a little bit, but my dick is just soft. It's like 2:30 a.m. My dick's just completely soft. And I literally say to her like, no, I don't think I can, because, you know, I'm really, really high. I can't really move right now. And she just sends like the laughing emojis. And I'm thinking, wait, you could still go. Come on, it'll be like a funny story. You know, you could go do this. You could do this. Come on. It's just not gonna happen. Jacked off like 3 times in the last like 2 hours. It's not gonna happen. I end up pulling out my journal and writing down like, what a fucking disgrace. I'm a young man. This was gonna be like a funny, like exciting, adventurous story. Who knows what would have happened? Maybe she just would have given me the pizza and she didn't want to fuck me. Who knows? But I didn't even get to go and see. I didn't even get to go and like just see what would happen with this girl because I had stunted my sexual drive. I can't keep living like this. That's when I changed my life. Very shortly after that, I end up moving back home to my parents' home and just locking in on self-improvement. I get the most consistent I've ever been. You know, before this, I used to be on self-improvement and I'd like do some of the good habits, but then I'd fall off and get into a rut and whatever. No ruts anymore, no more falling off. I get the most like serious productive I have ever been. I have the longest streak ever of Nofap meditation, everything. Now I start building a business, exercising, eating clean, everything changes for me. My business pops off. I'm making 10K a month, 25K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month. I become a millionaire in my 20s. My whole life changes because I started to harness my sexual drive and put it into good things instead of bad things. So here's the real benefits of Nofap, because most of the Nofap YouTubers that you see, they're just exaggerating it, where they say like, oh yeah, the Nofap's benefits timeline and women will notice and stuff. It's not true, come on. Here's the truth from like an older guy who, I'm not gonna lie to get views or anything. Here's the actual benefits of Nofap. Number 1, you'll feel a bit more like a winner and less like a loser, because just by the nature of this being like a goal that you have, every time that you relapse, you feel like a bit of a loser, which is a pretty bad thing, because if you wake up and relapse and you start your day with a loss, you kind of have like this low self-esteem for the rest of the day where you feel like, oh, like I've already kind of done that bad thing, compared to when you've got the day secured and you've got like, you know, to the next day of your streak, then it's like, okay, well, you know, that was a victory, and victories and winning usually lead to more victories and winning. It's like a really positive momentum because you feel more confident, you take on more challenges and everything. So you just feel like better about yourself. Your self-esteem goes up. You're no longer starting to see yourself as a guy who's like addicted. You see yourself as winning over that addiction. And this is honestly the case with like every type of habit or goal that you have. The second benefit is specifically your self-esteem. You'll notice that you just like and respect yourself more. When you're jacking off, you don't feel like good about yourself. When you really think about it, you don't think like, oh yeah, I'm such a attractive, like high value man when you're like jacking off. No, of course you don't. As much as a lot of guys try to cope or whatever, but of course you feel kind of negative about yourself whenever you're jacking off, because you know it's a pretty like beta male thing to do. The more like alpha male winner Adonis type of thing to do is to not be watching porn and jacking off, but to go and actually get into like a real relationship. Number 3, you'll feel hornier, which a lot of guys would actually see as a punishment. But I think when you become more of like a healthy guy, you've improved your mental health, you've gotten rid of a lot of these addictions, feeling hornier feels fucking awesome. Like I'm surprised so many guys hate feeling horny and they feel this need to jack off. I love feeling horny. I want to feel horny in my body, just not in my mind. And I think you probably know exactly what I mean, right? When your body's horny, imagine you're just doing something, living your normal day, and your dick randomly gets hard. It feels kind of nice. It's only when you're horny in your mind, when your mind is obsessing over sex and you feel hungry for it, that's when it feels kind of negative. What I found is when you get onto Nofap, your body will feel more horny, but your mind feels about the same level of horniness as it always does, whether you're on day 0 or day 70. So if you can learn to sort of decouple that, if you can learn to have a horny body, but keep your mind focused on your work and on your life and on positive thoughts and whatever, you'll just be working and your dick will get hard and you won't feel the need to like stroke it and release like a fucking monkey, like, you know, clockwork habit just because your dick got hard. You'll just leave it there. Like my dick's hard right now. Another benefit is that it resets your tolerance to sex, sexual activity, and what turns you on. When you watch porn and you jack off for years, you start needing like more and more like specific porn, niche porn. You start needing to like grip your dick harder. Eventually, when you have a girl in front of you and you see all of her imperfections, a lot of the times you don't even feel that horny anymore because she doesn't look like the girls that you've been jacking off to, who you've got to choose the perfect like hair color and body type and the look that the girls have, whatever. It's nice because it makes you feel hornier by normal girls again, which when you think about it, that's really deep, right? Like just you being in normal life and being attracted to normal girls is so important. But now imagine this for your future relationships. Like imagine how alone your future girlfriend's gonna feel when she can tell that you're like not actually that into her just because of the fact that she isn't shaped exactly perfect like a few of the girls that are probably like photoshopped or AI edited or whatever that you jack off to on OnlyFans or something. Nofap and not watching porn, it makes you a way better partner for your future woman, way better, because you'll appreciate her and you'll think that she's hotter. If you're constantly on Instagram looking at all these models, these Instagram reels and TikToks and then actual porn, you'll be used to seeing girls in the perfect angle with full face makeup in it, doing all the little fucking poses and everything. And so when you eventually get a girlfriend and the initial honeymoon period has worn off, you'll start to think that your girl's a bit mid when she's actually not. And you won't be that turned on by her and she's gonna feel hurt by that. And you know how I know this is gonna hurt you? Because another man is going to see her and he's gonna be turned on by her and he's gonna give her a compliment. He's gonna look at her like she wants to be looked at. This is how a lot of young guys who take their girlfriends for granted, they end up losing their girlfriends who are actually good girls, who are still beautiful, just because you've been watching so much porn. And then a guy who doesn't watch porn sees your girlfriend and says, "Oh, excuse me, you're really beautiful. What's your name?" And her pussy gets wet because it's the first time that she's felt like this masculine like desire for her in ages. She feels like an old shoe to you. Like she just feels like, you know, that old shirt that you throw at the bottom of the wardrobe for you, that she's always there. But to another man, she's actually quite the turn on. Is that how you want her to feel? When a woman is not appreciated by her man and she doesn't feel like sexualized by her man, I'm telling you right now, a lot of women, I don't want to sound horrible, but like they're not as loyal as you think they are. And if you don't make a woman feel loved and beautiful, appreciated, after some time, she's gonna go to the guy who does. Just bear that in mind, that your perception of like the girl that you're speaking to right now or the girl that you actually have in your life is probably lower than she actually is because you've watched like thousands of hours of porn and Instagram reels where the girls are all wearing makeup and everything, and then you see your girl on a normal day. And by the way, just as some like insider secrets to you, you know those girls that you see who do like OnlyFans and those girls that you see who are like Instagram models and they make like TikToks, whatever. When you start actually meeting them in real life, if you ever do, but if you speak to the guys who do, like where I live, there's a lot of influencers here. And when you start meeting them and going on dates with them and fucking them, you'll realize that those girls aren't all that. And they're not always that pretty either. So it's like, it's a bit of a lie, it's a bit of a scam when you see all these girls who are like, you know, posting thirst traps and they've got OnlyFans and whatever, and you actually see them in person and maybe you even fuck some of them. You'll realize that like the real girl, like the good girl, is so much more hotter, sexier, beautiful than any of these girls. Like these girls are all jealous of like that sort of like normal girl rather than the one who's got all the tattoos and who's posting thirst traps and everything. She looks good online, but in person, not so much. And the final big benefit of Nofap and no porn, and even if you want to push this one further, is no casual sex. Like you say, okay, I'm not going to hook up with girls. I'm not even going to have sex with any girls right now. I can't even attract any girls right now, so I'm just not even going to look at them. I'm just going to have no kind of like sexual activity in my life. When you do this, it's like your dick kind of stops working a little bit, but in a good way, where for example, you'll wake up, you won't have morning wood. You won't really feel randomly horny through the day, but instead, what you'll notice is you're getting way more ideas for your business, for your self-improvement journey. Like when you turn off this part of your life for some time, not always, but you know, for a little season of like productivity, like monk mode, and you say, okay, I'm just not going to speak to girls right now. I'm just really focused on this big goal that I've really got to work hard for, and I just don't have the capacity to like date right now. In the future I will, but not right now. For a short period of time, I'd say like 30 days, 60 days. When you do that, you'll notice you will get so many more ideas for your work. It's insane how much more your brain will think about like your goals and your fitness and your business and all these things. When you are open to having sex with girls, or or you're open to fapping, your brain will think about girls like 50,000 times a day, I swear to God. When you completely make the real decision that you're not going to, then your brain will only think about girls like a few thousand times a day, which is still a lot, but it's way less. And then you'll notice you'll get way deeper conversations with your friends, especially if you're with a friend who usually speaks about girls a lot or porn a lot, but then both of you decide not to, and then you'll get so deep in your conversations, your understanding of yourself, and it will really improve your life more. So here's the advice that I have for you. You need to get to the golden point of nofap. And basically no one talks about this. All the nofap YouTubers, they never really mention this, because when you understand the golden point of nofap, you'll never need to watch another nofap video again. This is why I hardly ever make nofap videos, even though they get so many views, because in every nofap video that I make, I teach you about the golden point of nofap, and then basically like you'd never need to watch this video again. I never really need to make another nofap video, but I just make it for the people who haven't seen it before. Once you get to the golden point of nofap, you will literally you'll be at the ultimate point, right? This is the goal that you need to get to. The golden point of nofap is where you literally forget that nofap and porn are even things. You've been successfully on this habit for so long that you no longer obsess over nofap and relapsing like it's a full-time job like most people do when they first get onto nofap. You are so detached away from porn and masturbation that you just forget that it's a thing, and you also forget that the concept of nofap is a thing as well. So you don't wake up and think, oh, I'm on day 63 or anything like that. You don't count the days, you make the days count. Getting obsessed over nofap and constantly watching all these nofap videos actually makes it harder for you to achieve this. Think about it. When you obsess over nofap, when you know exactly what day streak you're on, you might know you're on day 6 right now, that's literally further ingraining your identity as a guy who's an addict who's trying to get away from the addiction. You need to just have the flat identity that you just don't fap. There's the guy who says, oh, I'm on nofap, I'm trying not to fap. And there's the guy who says, I don't fap. That guy is gonna make more progress. Imagine we're in a party, we're all drinking, having fun, and there's 2 guys. One guy says, oh, no, I'm trying not to drink. Nah, I'm probably not gonna drink tonight. Everyone is gonna tell him, go on, have some with us. This is like, if you've ever been to a fucking party, this happens all the time. The guy who's saying like, oh yeah, I'm not really gonna drink tonight. Oh no, I don't really feel like drinking. He's the one who gets the most drunk because he's the one everyone else is gonna encourage him. And he's usually like the wildest one when he's drunk. But then there's a guy who's always got a 6-pack and he says, I don't drink. And almost no one pushes him to drink. Do you see the difference? The person who says, I don't drink, oh no, I don't fap, is so different than the person who says, it's been 6 days since I fapped. The guy who says, oh, I'm on day 6 of nofap, we all know he's gonna relapse soon. We all know it. We all know. The guy who says, oh yeah, I'm sober from alcohol for 3 days, we all know they're gonna relapse because it's in their identity, it's their personality, it's how they look at themselves. You need to not have this identity of like, oh yeah, it's been a few days since I've done the bad habit, I really hope that I don't do it again. Let me watch some more videos about this so it's constantly in my mind. You need to just move on with your life and not think about this at all. When you think about it, look, when you first discovered nofap, the goal wasn't to spend your day thinking about not fapping. The goal was to spend your day thinking about real life, your work, your relationship, your happiness and goals, right? It was never the goal to be obsessed with the concept of not fapping and not watching porn. That's just the vehicle. That's just like, the method. But we never wanted to have our own brain, like our thoughts filled up with this. Because honestly, bro, it's kind of sad if a guy's just spending his day, like his valuable thoughts, thinking about nofap. Why not think about conquering your goals? Why not think about helping your mother, your father? Why not think about having deep conversations with your family? When you are obsessed with nofap, when you watch nofap content, you end up thinking about like the lustful desires more. And you can imagine you're actually more likely to relapse. One of the things that no one tells you about nofap is that you're actually supposed to relapse loads of times when you first discover nofap because it's like a habit. Like when you think about it, you've been leveling up the habit of fapping and watching porn for years. The problem is when you discover nofap, you think that you can just start it and basically not fap anymore forever. This is what causes guys to get this feeling of being a loser, failing the goals, low self-esteem, and when you feel like this, you usually fap more. When you really think about it, if you never watched the nofap video and you used your own mind to kind of help you to quit fapping and porn, you would have never expected to think of the idea and quit cold turkey forever. You would have thought probably similar to how bodybuilders and weightlifters think, that you don't try and just hit this massive weight, but you just incrementally increase the weight, the difficulty, week after week after week. You would have thought, okay, I fap on average once every single day. So this week, I'm only gonna fap 6 times or even 5 times. Then you fap 5 times that week, you complete the week and you're like, oh sweet, okay. I like fapped way less, okay. Then you move on with your life and you think, okay, next week it'll be like 4 times, and you move on with your life, you're not even thinking about it. You get to Sunday, okay, I've only fapped 3 times, I've got 1 more saved up in the budget, go ahead. I only fapped 4 times this week. Then it gets to like 3 times, then it gets to 2, and then when it gets to 1 per week, honestly at that point, you're better off not even thinking about like no fap, no porn, whatever. Just don't watch porn and just jack off once a week. And honestly, like bro, I'm really being honest. A lot of guys don't want to hear this, but you'll be fine. No one will notice the difference if you jack off. You won't even notice any difference if you jack off once a week as like a young guy and you're like, you know, you're really horny and you're not watching porn. That's absolutely fine. Don't listen to any of these YouTubers who tell you like, no, you've got to get to like day 27. No, day 90. And if you've reset the streak, then you've lost all the rewards. That's not how it works. It's how much volume you've done, how many times you've jacked off over a month, over a year, not just how many days it's been in a row. Streaks are fucking bullshit. Like if I said to you like, okay, because look, I'm a bodybuilder. And if I said to you like, oh yeah, you have to go to the gym in a streak, otherwise you lose the progress and you reset to day 0. That's fucking retarded. Because as bodybuilders, weightlifters, athletes, we all know we take rest days where we don't do the thing and it actually helps you. We don't train every single day and if you miss 1 day, you're back to fucking being 130 pounds again. No, if I miss a fucking day, I'm still 205 pounds fucking thick and big. How about 8 inches and thick? I'm still fucking big, right? Imagine saying to a fat guy like, oh yeah, here's all the benefits for the gym. You know, you'll feel amazing. You'll lower your risk of death. But by the way, if you ever miss a day, you'll lose all of the benefits. That's fucking evil to say to people. This is why I've always hated every fucking nofap YouTuber. Whenever they tell you about like, oh yeah, don't reset your streak. Oh, day 0, whatever. Imagine telling a young guy like, oh yeah, if you mess up, you lose all of the progress that you've just made. It's simply just not true. It's not the streak that changes your life. It's how many times you've jacked off over, for example, like a month. If you usually fap like 30 times in a month and then next month you make it like 20, that's progress. Just like if you can bench press only 40 kg, but then next month you can bench press 45 kg, that's progress. Being on nofap and expecting to just go 0 times forever is like walking into the gym and expecting to bench press like 3 or even 4 plates right away. It's fucking retarded. You have to do this incrementally, but these YouTubers, these nofap YouTubers, TikTokers, they'll never say this because usually one, they're like children themselves. And so they're in this like weird internet culture coming on and telling you like, oh guys, I'm on day 63 now. And usually they're just fucking lying about the day that they're on because they get more views when they lie to you and say, yeah, I've defeated lust now, guys. But also, bro, it's their business. These guys, they literally get money for making you feel insecure and overthinking about this concept. You know that I'm being legit here because I don't want you to think about this in your normal day-to-day life at all. I don't want you to watch my other nofap videos because I just want you to wake up tomorrow and not think about porn, masturbation, any of this stuff, and just think about actual real life. Have your mind obsessed over your goals, and then when you feel horny, enjoy it. When you feel horny, it doesn't mean you have to just go expel that fucking sexual energy. Just your dick's hard and just kind of smile about it and keep doing your work, and it's kind of funny that you're working whilst your dick's hard. It's like, that's absolutely fine. That's gonna happen sometimes. Sometimes you're gonna be out in public, your dick's gonna get hard, you're gonna have to do the waistline tactic. It's fine. That's how life is supposed to be. Don't think that you've got to like relapse. Don't think that you've got to like get this streak or any of this shit. Just go focus on your real goals. See yourself not as the guy who's on nofap, but as the guy who just doesn't fap. There's a big difference. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah. By the way, no pressure, but there's a few links underneath this video that you can check out if you want to have a look at my paid programs. When you trust me enough and you feel like my free content has already changed your life, you can have a look at those.